Hi there, it's Kim
and Andy,
and together we are the I Wonder Sisters.
Yay! Yay!
Hello everyone, and for those of you who are listening on the day we actually record this, happy Friday. Whatever day you're listening to it, we hope that you're having a good one. On this particular episode, Andy and I wanted to put in our 2 cents on Doreen Virtue. And for those of you who aren't familiar with her, we'll talk about who she is. But it's about her transformation from pagan New Ageist to born-again Christian. And it seemed very sudden to us. I'm sure that it probably wasn't sudden to her.
I'm sure it was a process for her.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And do you want to explain, for those people who may not have heard of Doreen Virtue, who she is?
For years, she has been a New Age pagan guru. She's written many books, and she's designed many different courses and certificate courses. She's made tarot and oracle decks. She's been very into angels and fairies, and she's made a lot of money selling her wares.
Yes, and in particular, her classes and certifications over the years have been extremely popular among a lot of people who do read cards, and they read angel cards, or they work with the angels as they work with their clients, or on a personal level they work with the angels. And she's literally was known as the angel lady. If you were to say the angel, you know that angel lady, I can't think of her name, someone would say Doreen Virtue. Okay, she's put out a lot of material, as Andy said, but the certifications as well costed quite a bit of money. We're talking about close to $1,000 and over for one of her certifications. And we know people who have actually participated in these certifications, and the reason they do it, or the reason they did it, because people are still taking them because they are still being offered, and we'll talk about that. But for those who have the angel reader certification, and she had one called fairyologist certification, they are not just attached to the subject matter, but they are also, even more so in many cases, attached to the name Doreen Virtue. Because if they get a client and they're doing an angel card reading, to see certified by Doreen Virtue was quite a very, very, very big deal. And so now she has come out. A few months ago, I think, was the first time that she did a video about being born again and her experience of going to church and seeing Jesus. The video that I saw was one where she described seeing Jesus actually, come to her during the church service and basically claim her and say, you belong with me. And so after that, she immediately went up and she became born again, or saved, as some people say. And now she only communicates with Jesus Christ as her own personal savior, not as anything else. So Andy, what do you think about these certifications? We've talked about her energy being in the cards. Is her energy not in her cards? But the certifications, if it were you, how would you feel about using that?
She hasn't, well, in a way, she has denounced her former self. She's totally distanced herself from all her cards and books and certifications. I didn't see the video, but did she say they were bad?
Well, in the video that I saw, she didn't use any negative words, but what she did say in that video was that she would no longer back or condone the use of angel cards, the use of fairy cards. She would no longer be using those cards, and she would ask that the people that own those decks, that they think about giving them away, throwing them away. This was in the video that I saw, and I heard there was one even more harsh through Kellyanne Maddox, who also wasn't able to find it. I wasn't able to find that first video. So the video that I saw was a bit softer, but it did tell the story of her transformation and how it happened immediately, how she was sitting in church. She lives in Hawaii, and she was sitting in church, and she just looked in front of her, and all of a sudden there was a figure there, and she believed that it was Jesus coming to her to tell her that her devotion should be 100% towards him as her personal savior. Now, she has included Jesus Christ in one of her decks of the deck that talks about the Ascended Masters. I think it's just called the Ascended Masters deck. Okay, and Ascended Masters, for those of you who are not familiar with that term, it means that the being has had a human lifetime. Okay, so we have Jesus, we have Paramahansa Yogananda, we have I can't think of it, Saint Germain, who they say also has reincarnated into the human realm more than one time. So that's what an ascended master is. It is someone who has ascended, transcended, I guess, above the human life that they have lived. Now she says that she should have never, in this particular video that I watched, that she should have never added Jesus to that list, because now she no longer believes in ascended masters. Jesus is the only master, the only savior, the only guide, and so that deck, she's totally
she's done a complete 180.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And it's shocked a lot of people, and people have a lot of questions for her. I don't necessarily think she's going to answer all the questions that people have for her, because I think she feels, which may be right, of course, that it's her business how she worships. But the difference is the fact that she made money, lots and lots of money, off of her belief system. She created a whole audience of followers who, no matter what she put out, whether it was a deck or a book, they bought those things. Whether it was a class, they saved up for it or whatever. She's created a whole following that actually would purchase everything that she put out. And so that's the difference. If Janet Smith next door to you all of a sudden turns into a born again Christian after she was a witch, as far as you knew, or a New Ageist, and all of a sudden she started talking only Jesus to you, you would find it strange, but you wouldn't necessarily think that much more about it. But when a person is using their belief system as their career, then this is the thing that I think is coming up with Doreen.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that she has not only shocked a lot of her followers, but also disappointed them, because she is saying that what she created for herself before, her born-again Christian self, is no longer valid.
Yes.
And and she has a great deal of stature in the New Age community, and a lot of people would find this very off-putting and very condescending.
Yes, yes. And the thing about what Doreen used to teach for many, many years, as a matter of fact, I learned about her well over a decade ago. It must have been maybe about almost 15 years ago now, something like that, when I first heard of her and her work with the angels. I have a deck of hers that she collaborated with a gentleman named Robert Reeves, and it's called the Flower Therapy Oracle. And I loved the deck. Now, I did find that a lot of the explanations of the flowers, I loved all of the keywords, but a lot of the explanations of the flowers, I put my own swing to the meaning, because I did find some of them to be very Christian. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that, and this is one of her later decks, and so I kind of, used my intuition, looked at the keyword and the flower, and was able to sort of say what she was saying, translated it into a pagan, a New Age sense of understanding, okay, which is the life that I live. Now, I'm feeling very funny about using that deck, and I probably will not use that deck, because as Doreen used to teach, everything is energy, and I'm not sure what energy for me was put into that deck when she made it. Mm-hmm. People say, well, energy doesn't dissipate. It just recreates itself. And I do believe that to a certain point. But what I'm saying is that I don't know where her energy was when she made it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So yes, the energy in which she made it could have been totally an energy that I am aligned with, but it could also be an energy that I'm not in alignment with.
Now.
How do now? Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about your deck of hers?
I have the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck of Doreen Virtue, and I loved the deck when I got it. I have to say that there was another goddess deck that I had previously that got lost in our travels to New Mexico, and I missed that deck because it was more comprehensive. But Doreen's Goddess Guidance Oracle deck is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I used it, and I liked it. I won't say I loved it, but I liked it. And the problem for me is the difference between the New Age and religion. I think her born-again status makes her become a more religious figure, and paganism and New Ageism embraces so many different people. And to talk about Christ, I have never met a born-again Christian that didn't try to preach to me, and I've met many.
Yes.
And I find that so off-putting, and I shut down immediately. I don't hear what they're saying, and it's like they try to convert me. And it's very demeaning to my belief system that they should do so.
Yes. I totally agree with that. And I think that a lot of people have the question now is, what is Doreen going to do? How is this all going to play out? Because, as Andy said, paganism, which simply means that you do not participate in any of the Abrahamic religions. Okay, it means that you're not a Christian, you're not a Catholic, you do not practice Islam or Judaism. They are Abrahamic religions. They come from the history of Abraham, and so paganism simply means that you practice outside of that realm. Now, people are concerned to see how this is all going to play out, because she had this huge audience and they all just don't disappear. And so is she going to turn around and start marketing and creating materials that are going to try to turn people around and save them, quote unquote, if they're not already a Christian? What is she going to do about her audience? And what is she going to say from this point on? And what is she going to do with her career with Hay House? Hay House is her publisher. It is a basically a new age publishing company. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I can say that from having purchased some of their books, and we got her cards, Doreen's Virtues cards, from Hay House Publishing. So what is she going to do with her career now? One thing we do know is that she's going to take her name off of her entire body of work. And it's a lot of work between the books and the cards and the angel books and the classes and the certifications. She has said that by 2020, I believe, her name will be off of all of that material. Okay, so she's not going to be connected to it anymore. Now, I do know that she has a son whose name is Charles, and I've seen him writing books now and also participating with her when it came to these certifications. Now, I'm assuming now he will not be with her. He'll be doing them by himself, but she is the creator, along with Charles, and with many of the earlier courses, the sole creator of these certifications. And so now all these people with these certifications, what are they certified for? According to her belief system now, they're not really certified to do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that is really disturbing to people, because a lot of people were in the position where they had to save up, because her classes and her certifications are not cheap. We're not talking about spending $25 for an online class. We're talking about an investment of your time and of your money. And so we'll see how that plays out, and we'll see what she does, and a lot of people may say, Andy, it's her business, but the fact is that it is her business. Like I said, it's not just your neighbor changing beliefs. It's someone who utilized their belief system as their career. And I think, it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out for her.
Yeah, I agree. I think for the people that have her certifications, things are going to be a lot more difficult than for people that just purchase the books or cards or anything like that. Because those people have also made careers out of using those certifications. Because to be certified by Doreen Virtue before she was born again meant something in the New Age and pagan communities. So now the question is, what do they mean?
Yes, exactly. And we don't know whether or not this change also was sudden. In other words, she was in church when she said that she saw the figure of Jesus come to her. So that means to me she probably had been going to church. she didn't say in the video that it was her first visit to this particular church. She said that she was just in church. So how long has this transformation been going on, and where have her energies, where did they come from, or where did they lie during the time that she was creating all of this? Now, I know we both know someone from Instagram who just this spring took another certification course. I believe it's this person's second certification from Doreen. And I'm thinking to myself, in the spring of this year, was she already feeling as if though what I'm writing and what I'm creating is not really authentic?
Right.
And that would just concern me energetically, and also as a business person. Like Andy said, these people are getting certifications because they are using the courses to help expand their business. Okay. And now, it's really just a piece of paper, and I've heard a lot of these people on YouTube talk about it, and they're very upset about it, and don't know what to do about it. And like I said, I don't know if Doreen is required to say what to do about it.
I think she should send their money back.
Yeah, I was wondering too, for the people that took her courses this year, would she refund? If a person did say, I want my money back for this, because now I don't know what this certificate actually means, would she actually refund them? Because I thought about that the other night, and I thought to myself, I wonder would she refund that money? I really, really do. Because now that she's left pretty much everything in the hands of Hay House. And from this point forward, what Doreen has said is that Hay House will be receiving the profits from anything of hers that is being sold.
The thing is, though, in my mind, why would anyone buy anything of hers now that was written before her born again, and take it to heart?
Yeah.
Why would anybody do that if she has denounced it? And she has.
Yes, she has. Oh, she's been very clear. In the video that I saw, because like I said, like Kellyanne, I heard people talking about the first video, and it was pretty hard. It was like, get rid of the stuff. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in divination. I don't believe in card reading. I don't believe in fairies. I don't believe we should be communicating with angels. It was like all of that, and so what I heard was the backlash from the first video, but then she did another video that was a bit softer, but basically said the same exact thing. So we just wanted to really, talk about it a bit, and like I said, chime in on the whole thing. Like I was telling Andy, I said, I've known Doreen Virtue and her work, through her work, for many, many, many years.
Yeah,
and
me
so
too.
It's very shocking, and I hope she's very happy, but I do think that she has an obligation to do some more explanation as to what she can do for the people with these certification papers.
Yeah, who spent so much money.
Exactly. And I think that the right thing to do would be that if they requested a refund for it, that they should receive it. And that's my opinion. If they don't say anything and they just want to brew in it, in the anger or frustration or whatever it is, disappointment, whatever, then that's fine. But if someone says, this now means nothing to me, and it doesn't mean anything to my clients either.
Right.
So what is it doing for me? It's not doing anything for me, and I would like a refund.
Except lining your pockets.
Yeah, exactly. It continued to line Doreen's pockets, and so we'll see between her son, her collaborators,
and Hay
House, what will become of all of this. So, yeah. Excuse me. Well, that's about what we have to say today. We want to leave you with some info. Our blog is iwondersisterhood.com, and we would love to see you there. Also, we are on Instagram all the time, and we would love to see you there. On Instagram, we are at iwondersisters, so you can find us that way. We post every day, at least 3 or 4 postings. We love Instagram. We just love the people that we met there. It's just, to me, the most awesome social media platform. I mean, I really enjoy it.
I know you do. And we have encountered and become friends with some extraordinary people.
Yes, indeed. And it's authentic, and the people are authentic. And so, if you'd like to join our little family over there, like I said, we're at I Wonder Sisters. And our blog, however, is iwondersisterhood.com. So check us out. Also, we have a coffee page for anyone who would like to donate $3 for a coffee for Andy and myself. If you've never heard of coffee.com, it is another place where artists and teachers and spiritualists, all forms of creatives can go and say, hey, if you appreciate what I do, donate $3, or donate $6 for 2 cups of coffee, So it is ko-fi/I Wonder Sisters. So that's coffee.com/I Wonder Sisters. I think I had that right.
Yeah, now you did.
Okay, ko-fi.com/I Wonder Sisters. So we thank you for listening, and we'll be here hopefully next week as well with another topic.
Okay, bye everybody. We love you.
Bye-bye. Thank you. We appreciate you too. Much love.